working hard to develop solutions. You can do your part, too, by taking simple steps to make your home more energy efficient. Because together, we have the power to make a difference.
This message brought to you by Cumberland Electric Membership Corporation.
Hey, this is Adam Crabb with the Gaither Vocal Band, and you are listening to one of the best Southern gospel stations.
WSGI AM 1100, Springfield's God Informer.
Chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I have today.
And I shouldn't say just Robertson County, because we have people from all over. I have people, checking in that watch us via the interwebs, through social media and stuff up in Michigan, where my husband's from, up in Upper Peninsula. And, of course, we have our Sumner County regular, Mr. Paul Rainey's always on here with us. And so we have a lot of people that, tune into this from all over because they want to know what's happening in Robertson County because we're awesome. And there's just always some cool stuff going on. Welcome to it. I hope you have, if you found us and you're new, what's going on here? This is an opportunity to see what's going on one street over from where you live in. We love our Ridgetop Ramblers for bringing us that wonderful, wonderful tune that just talks all about the things happening. If you've not heard me talk about this, Ridgetop Ramblers, met them for the first time at the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival. And when I heard that song, I told him, I said, if I ever do a podcast, because I was kind of, transitioning out of full-time radio, and I said, I want to keep my toe in the water. I said, that would be a great theme song. And when we've, brought this show on, it was perfect for what we're talking about because we want to know what's happening one street over from where we're living. So what are we doing today? Coming up, I've got Craig Pulley is going to be calling in here a minute. He is the proprietor of Fiddle Dee Farms, and they have a crazy little thing called Love coming up, and we're going to talk to him now, but then we're going to talk to him a little bit closer to the show because it's for Valentine's, for, whenever we're, getting into the mood for sharing something special with the love of our lives. So we want to remind you to, go and check that out. I have not had the opportunity to get to one of their shows. It's something that is definitely on my list of things to do ASAP because I've heard so many things about these shows and the professionalism of this stuff. And I'm telling you, the dates are February 7th through March 1st. So we'll talk to Craig about that here in just a minute. And he also works at the studio that was taking care of Huckabee. Of course, Huckabee is transitioning to Israel as the ambassador. And so, bless his heart, he's going to let my kiddos come down there for a field trip. So, I just appreciate him so much. But we're going to talk to Mr. Craig Pulley here in just a minute. He'll call in. And then I'm assuming Brian Pulley, I got to, find out if they've got, some kind of connection, if there's a family connection there. But with United Way, we always check in with United Way at 7:30 on Thursdays because they just have so much going on. They have the VITA program that's going to be coming up for your taxes because we're all like knocking on that door wondering, when I get all my forms in, how soon will I get my returns and all those things? So we'll be talking about that and all the things happening with United Way. And also, too, United Way was very instrumental in helping get some shelter for people who just were out in the cold recently with that cold blast and the snow we had come through last weekend. And, today We're talking 40s, tomorrow 50s, got some rain coming through. It's going to feel very spring-like, but goodness, it's going to drop big next week, and we've got some more cold blasts coming on. So we'll be talking to Brian about how we're going to, take care of all that. And here is Craig calling in now. How are you doing, Craig? Are you with me? How are you there? Have I got you?
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing great. I love it when technology works like it's supposed to. Isn't that wonderful?
Isn't that the truth?
I love it.
It is.
I appreciate you so much coming on because I have just heard rave reviews about you guys and these shows you do. And I've just got to get up there. Whenever we talked for the Christmas show, you only had just a couple of the nights that you had it. I had stuff going on. But I'm looking at your schedule right now for a crazy little thing called Love, and I'm going to do my best to get there because this just looks like so much fun. So much fun.
It is going to be a lot of fun, and I hope you do get to make it. We would love to see you. We're just really blessed with our cast and our producers, Barry and Darian Amato. They just put on such a great show. And we tell folks all the time. Most of us, at least those of us who have lived in this area most of our life, we all used to go to Opryland, USA, and we just loved the shows that were in the park, and that's what these shows are like. They're very much like the old Opryland, USA stage shows, and that's where Barry and Darian, they actually met at Opryland when they were. I think they were just beyond teenage years, but they met at Opryland, USA, singing and dancing. And they love those style of shows, and that's what this is. Lots of singing, lots of dancing, some skits, and a lot of audience participation. So they're just a lot of fun. All these programs that we do are just a lot of fun.
It just sounds wonderful. And when we were talking about the Christmas show, this is the first year you've done one geared around Valentine's, correct?
That is right.
Okay.
And part of the reason, our venue, the barn at Fiddle Dee Farms is primarily a wedding venue.
Right.
And so we're pretty busy most of the year, but December, January, February, you don't really have a lot of people getting married during those months. And so several years ago, we decided to kind of take advantage of that and do something that we've always wanted to do, which is a dinner show. And so the Christmas show we just wrapped up in December. That was our 4th season of doing We Need a Lot of Christmas. And every year people say, well, are you going to do another show? Are you going to do another show? And it's just, as you well know, it's a pretty big undertaking to start a new show. And but we kept looking at the calendar and going, well, we could do it in February. Just cross our fingers we don't get any snow, and we'll give this a shot.
Yeah.
So we sat down, I guess, last summer and started mapping out what this show would look like. And sure enough, so here we go. Yeah, so starting February 7th, we're going to do a crazy little thing called Love. And the other thing, too, LaVern, again, outside of Opryland, a lot of people that are listening on the program remember Chapin's Barn on the south side of Nashville.
Yes.
And there is just a huge gap in Nashville for dinner shows. Chapin's Barn is no longer with us. And unfortunately, we can't fill that gap totally because we do weddings.
Right.
But we're going to try to fill that gap at least twice a year now, and we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I think so too. I just love it, and you every time you start talking, I have echoes of Chapin's Barn because I went a lot. We did a lot of radio promotion with the barn, and just all the time. I had friends that were in shows there. I had several friends that were actors that would do reoccurring roles and things like that, or they would be in different plays and. So, on that same theme of Chaffin's, now I know you have these that very much, and I described it to somebody kind of like a Bransford kind of feel too. Would you say that?
Where Chaffin's was more of a play.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah. The similarity is you actually get to go see a performance and eat dinner at the same time.
Right.
And so that's the similarity, but the programs are totally different. Chapin's did a lot of plays, very few musicals. And you're right, the Branson show theme, the Pigeon Forge show team. In fact, Barry and Darien are, again, our producers, and they're in the show itself.
Mm-hmm.
They currently produce the Country Tonight show in Pigeon Forge. They've been doing that for the last 4 or 5 years. And again, most people that are listening that have been to Pigeon Forge, at some point they probably have seen the Country Tonight show, along with the Hatfields and McCoys and all the other shows they have in Pigeon Forge. So yes, our shows are more like the Pigeon Forge and Branson type shows. Just like I said, in tons of music and dance. I was looking earlier. I don't know the exact number, but there's in this one show, Crazy Little Thing Called Love, there's about 30 love songs in this show medleys. They do a lot of medleys, of course. So there's a portion of about 30 different love songs in this show.
That is very cool. Can you tell us a little bit about the premise of the show? Like, that's one thing when you talk about we need the Christmas show and the different ones like that. Is there a storyline that it follows, or how does it kind of work out? Or is it more of a variety kind of show?
It is more of a variety.
Okay.
I don't know that you'd say there's a storyline per se. We just wanted to. We say this in a lot of our promotions. We just wanted to poke a little fun at love.
I got you.
And so what you have though, the show is the medleys are kind of in sections, if you would. And so there is one of the sections is called the Music City Love Songs. So these are country love songs, And then you got the story of love, and then there's a section on marriage, like love, the old song Love and Marriage. So there's 2 or 3 songs in there about marriage. One of the cool segments that I thought that they came up with is and I don't know where they came up with these letters. It's called Classic Love Songs and Love Letters. And what it is, these are actual love letters. Like there is one of them is a love letter from Richard Burton to Elizabeth Taylor. Oh. And so they read that love letter, and then they perform a song to represent that particular relationship. So there's about three of those in the show with these love letters. I think it's I was trying to remember exactly who it is because all of our folks listening will know. Oh, here we go. So there's 3 of those. There's one section in the show that's what it is. It's the classic love songs with the classic love letter, famous love letters. Joe DiMaggio to Marilyn Monroe, and these are actual letters.
Yeah,
I don't know where they found these letters, but they're actual. Richard Burton to Liz Taylor, and then one that we'll all love here, Johnny Cash to June Carter.
Oh man, yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. That is just neat.
Yeah.
I am just so glad. I had made in my notes at Christmas to call you early because, because this stuff, we're going to be on top of this super quick. I mean, time just goes so fast, and we'll be praying for good weather, of course.
Yes,
so,
it is just around the corner.
Yeah.
We can't believe how fast it's getting and getting here. The team they're right now kind of putting the final touches on the stage because we've had, we're redoing the entire inside of the barn for this particular show. So it won't be Christmas, but it's definitely going to be love and Valentine's.
I love it.
And something else that folks need to know, on the Christmas show, we do about 22 performances.
Wow.
This show, there are only 10.
Yeah.
There's only 10 performances. So, they're going to fill up very, very fast. In fact, they're already filling up pretty fast, but don't want to wait too long because there's only 10 shows. We may add a matinee or 2 if these shows sell out.
Okay.
But right now, there's only 10 performances.
So, and I know that during Christmas, didn't you have a show ticket where you could just do the show, or is it only dinner and a show for this one?
That's right. There is
That's what I
a
thought.
show only option if someone wants to come in just for the show. So there is an option for that. Absolutely.
Okay, I didn't really see that on here, but I knew we had talked about that last time because some people are like, I don't really want to do dinner, but I would think that you'd want to come do dinner because if you've never had the experience of dinner in a show, you don't know what you're missing. And I miss that so much from Chaffin's. I just love that, and I'm one of those. I really, really enjoy when we go to. I've never been to Branson, but I've been to Pigeon Forge many times, and I love those the ones where you have the the cowboys and the different things, and you sit in the
Oh,
arena.
yeah.
Well, I forget what they're called. I haven't done one in forever, but it's kind of that's the closest thing I could get to dinner and a show for many years because we haven't had Chaffin. I don't know when Chaffin's closed. Do you remember? It's been a while.
It was around COVID time.
Was it? Okay, was it not
yeah.
that long ago? Okay, I didn't realize that. I
Yeah,
thought it had been much
it might
longer
have been.
than that.
It might have been a little bit before
Yeah.
that. Again, not to get into too much detail.
Sure.
Our understanding is that the barn, it changed hands right before COVID,
Yeah.
and then COVID hit, and they weren't able to open at all, and that was just
That was
pretty
the-
much the thing that they closed it, because you you got to stay open with a business like that. You've got to be able to do shows.
For sure, absolutely. And I'll tell you one good thing is your location, just right off the interstate. Even if we were to get some snow, guys, I mean, I'm sure you don't want to have people come if it's treacherous, but I would think that if we have dusting, you could still do the show because you
Oh,
guys are
absolutely.
very accessible, super accessible. It's
Yeah.
not like you're down a bunch of crazy back roads. Because some of these venues you go to, there's some wonderful venues out there, but you're like going, where am I going? I have been to some weddings going, really? Is there really something back here? But you guys, I've been to so many weddings at your place. It is absolutely fabulous. And
Well, thank you.
y'all have done such a beautiful job. I think I told you, I said, we had talked, we have a little farm and we thought about being a venue. And then we saw places like yours, we're like, we're going to let them do it. They're doing such a good job. But you do. I've been to several weddings there and I can, and the brides and grooms just rave about you guys and how much special attention you give them and how well you take care of them. I just can't say, every wedding I've been to there, the bride and groom just raving about you guys has been very special. So you're doing a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate knowing that and hearing that. And we do take it. We do have a lot of pride in what we do there for our brides and grooms. And it's in fact, we're actually changing the name of the barn to the venue because some folks, when they see you online and they see the word barn, that's what they think of as barn.
Yeah.
And as you know, you've been there. It's a little more than just a barn.
Oh yeah.
So if you want to have a really upscale, lavish type wedding, you can do that there.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want to have a rustic type, Western type of wedding, you can do that there. And so we're able to do both. But we do quite a few weddings a year. I mean, quite frankly, we're right in the middle of the engagement season right now. A lot of guys and gals get engaged at Christmas and New Year's, so they're starting to look for their venue.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know somebody out there that's getting married this year or next year, we're already booking for 26 and 27.
Wow.
Have them go online to the website and let us know, and then they can come take a tour. But yeah, it's a great place to do weddings. It's a nice, intimate setting for the shows that we do. So we only have 220 seats, so it's small. But boy, let me tell you, these shows are powerful, and most people leave just shocked and surprised at going, okay, we were not expecting this good of a show in this small of a setting. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And I just, I'm sitting here at your, I've been bragging on your website too. You and I've talked a little bit about that. Fabulously done. And I can see now that you have got the venue at Fiddle Dee Farms Presents. So I love that because I get that too, because people have the perception of, well, I don't know if I want to get married in a barn. It's so much more than that. It can be whatever you want it to be. And again, because I've had some friends, I've actually been to a wedding that was more rustic and one that was a little more upscale and a little more fancy. And I'm glad you put your seating capacity because I knew it was around 250, 220, somewhere in that range. But that's still, I mean, if you're having a wedding, do you really want more than that at your wedding?
Oh, my goodness.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine. But talk to me about your. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, for a wedding, we can actually go up to. Technically, it's 297.
Oh,
that's
wow.
what we are.
Okay.
That's what we are rated at. Most of our weddings range, I would say, from 140 to 180. That's the average size wedding. I would say 150, 160 is probably right in the middle of the average of what most weddings are. but we have had some that have hit the 250, 275 mark, and
Wow.
we can handle that. But I'm kind of like you. I'm not sure why you'd want to invite that many people, but that's not my call.
No, no, not at all. I had, but now what about the food preparation? Let's talk about who's doing the food for Crazy Little Thing Called Love, and do you have somebody that's your preferred caterer? Do you have different caterers that come in for the weddings? How do y'all do that? I actually had a friend that catered one. She has passed, but I don't know if y'all remember Debbie Hart with Pink Lady Catering.
Oh, I do remember the name of the company. Yes,
She
I
has
don't know that I
passed away.
personally knew her.
Yeah, but she was wonderful, and I know that she at one point was on your maybe your preferred list or something. So
Yeah, I'm sure.
who's doing our food for Crazy Little Thing Called Love, and then how does the catering for your venue as weddings work? So we'll just kind of cover it all.
Yeah, sure. Well, obviously, because we do the weddings and we have a lot of vendors that come in to do the food, we do have a preferred list of just some great vendors in our area. And so for the weddings, we can hook up the brides and the grooms with, whatever range of food you want. You want to really upscale, meats and steaks and things like that. We've got vendors that do that. So there's just a range of great vendors, and we do use them for our shows. Honestly, I don't remember exactly which one is doing this particular show because I'm not involved in that process. I just know that this is going to be Italian.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
I'm told there's going to be some sort of a chicken option and a lasagna option, and of course there'll be salad and all the other things that go with that. But they decided that this particular show for Crazy Little Thing Called Love, the food is going to be Italian, and it will be great. That's one of the things when we set out to do the dinner shows, and again, like you and I have already discussed, we've been to dinner shows in different places. The food's not always, the shows may be great, but the food's not always great.
I've been to a few like that.
So we decided that's not going to be the case here.
Right.
If we're gonna serve you food, it's going to be great food, and people they rave about our food for our shows, and it's going to be really, really good. But again, it's going to be Italian for I guess you could have gone Italian or French for a love show, huh?
Exactly. Those are the only two choices. I mean, really, what else are you going to do? So I love it. And I have a very good friend that is on here with me every morning, Paul Rainey, and he was talking about he and his wife Mary going to the Ray Stevens show. If anybody's been to the Cabaret Dinner Theater, and I think they're closing, he said, but he said that was a blast, and I think that would probably have some similarities to what you are doing. If you happen to catch that show, that would kind of give you an idea of what it might be like.
Exactly. Ray, I don't think Ray's going to do the show any longer, but what a great place. And of course, we all love Ray Stevens, and but they do a great job out there. The one thing I wanted to mention about this particular show, Crazy Little Thing Called Love, and again, I've already said there's only 10 performances.
Mm-hmm.
There are 4 performances the week of Valentine's.
I saw that
because we knew that would be the big week that people would want to come. And I've been telling folks for the last couple of weeks, I'm one of those guys. I am totally guilty that on Valentine's Day, February 14th, at some point, I'm probably standing in Walgreens looking for a card. I've waited till the last minute again.
I hear you.
So I'm just encouraging the guys, don't wait. There's now you know about this. This is something totally different and unique to do for Valentine's that you don't have the option of doing anywhere else. So don't wait to the last minute. Just go ahead and book your tickets and bring your spouse or your girlfriend or whatever. Bring her out to the show, and it's just going to be a great night to get out. It's a family friendly show. I always want folks to know at Fiddle Dee Farms our shows are family friendly. You can bring your kids. You can bring your grandmother. They're not going to be embarrassed by anything they see or hear. So because of that, we've got groups that are lining up to come see the show, Sunday school classes and some tour groups and things like that. So it's open to everybody. It's not just for couples or married couples or dating couples. It's open. It's a great show for anybody to see.
I think I think that my grandkids would love it. I think it would be something special for my son to do for his little girl for Valentine's.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
they do all
absolutely.
these daddy-daughter dances. This would be
Uh-huh.
fabulous to take your young daughter to. Oh, I think
Yeah,
it would be
that's
so
right.
special. I just think it's a lovely thing. Maybe, mom and dad take the little girls, to this, and I think it would be something
Oh, yeah.
above and beyond the little, daughter daddy dances. I just think it would
I,
be so special.
Absolutely, it would be, and we're going to actually have some fun with the audience. This show is going to have probably, I would say, another layer of audience participation in it,
Okay.
and we're going to be going down in the audience a couple times and picking out some folks to have some fun with. And I know one of the segments, I'm looking here for what they called it. One of them is called the Not So Newlywed Game.
Uh-oh.
So we'll be grabbing a couple out of the audience and bringing them up on stage and having a little fun with them. So yeah, this program, it's just like our other shows. We do have some comedy skits in here, but that one in particular is going to be extra special because somebody in the audience is going to be up on stage and be the star of the show for a few minutes.
Oh my. Yeah. Well, the 14th is a Friday night, y'all.
Yep,
So if you
that's
want
right.
that ticket, you better get on it. If they're even, do you think it's sold out yet?
No, but as you can imagine, that is the show that's selling the
the ticket.
fastest.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's a Friday
yeah.
night, the 14th, the night, Valentine's. Guys, if you're listening and you want to do something special for your bride and really surprise her and she hasn't heard about this is it. If you're like,
Yep.
I don't know what to do for Valentine's, this is it. Surprise her and you will just be the king. I just think
That's
that would be
exactly
a
right.
wonderful idea. But you've got the 13th is a Thursday night, so that's doable even if because
Yeah.
Friday night will sell out first.
Yes,
And then
it
the
will.
15th, you've got that Saturday. That whole weekend is doable for Valentine's. What I love too is you got a 5 o'clock show on that Sunday, on the 16th, and that's fabulous. So
It is.
yeah, if you don't get in on the 14th tickets, you could do that afternoon ticket at 5, and let her unpack it on the 14th and say, here's what we're doing tomorrow night or the next night or next week, depending on. I'm just helping you guys. I'm just helping you out here. But
Well, that's good advice. And you're right. The 14th and the 15th are the two shows that are moving the fastest.
absolutely.
And so, but we went ahead and we're doing shows on Friday and Saturdays throughout all of February because, I know even myself, when work has called and I've been out of town on Valentine's Day
Right.
and couldn't do something. So we went ahead and we're doing shows all throughout the month, but those 4 during that week. And one of the cool things, LaVern, too, that there's different ticket levels, but the VIP ticket, what we call the VIP ticket level, that's the seats that are closest to the stage, and those tickets come with a half dozen roses. And so you're going to be all set if you get that ticket.
My goodness, that's
Yeah.
amazing! So you get a half dozen roses with your VIP ticket, and you're gonna be up front, so you're more you're more apt to be able to be a part of the stuff, because
Yeah.
they're gonna be right there. And if you like that, now some people don't want you to be on
That's true.
stage. But I love that. See, now you don't have that on here that it comes. Well, maybe you do. I'm reading right now, but I love that it comes with the. I mean, what a great idea, guys! Y'all need to do this. This is perfect.
Yeah.
This is
Once
perfect.
once you go to the ticketing site, if you go to fiddledeefarms.com and click on the Crazy Love logo, that will take you to the ticketing site, and then it will show you on that site. When you click Get Tickets, that will take you to the ticketing site, and it will show you your options. And we just so the guys don't have to worry about it. We will have those roses available for other people. If you don't buy the VIP seats, that's okay. We'll still have roses there available.
Okay, well, see, and I just clicked on. I went ahead and clicked through the webpage, and it does say VIP tickets, front stage seating, and it does have half dozen roses listed in there. So that's wonderful.
right.
And it says
Yep.
Italian buffet. Okay,
Yeah.
and digital pictures with cast members. I mean, just go and check it out, guys. Again, your website. Oh my goodness, I need you to teach me some lessons on website building because it works
Oh,
really
it's
good.
many hours doing that, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure. And thank you again. I was bragging on you before you called because you've invited my students to come out for a tour of the studio. What is the name of the studio where y'all did Huckabee? I mean, is it Twitty City? I mean, it's the Twitty
No,
City
well,
facility.
not
but-
any longer. I mean,
Right.
at the time we were calling the theater the Huckabee Theater.
Okay.
But our the property is TBN Music City.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so we are looking. We don't know yet what's going to go in that theater, but we are hopeful that there's going to be another show. And
Oh, there will
of course,
be.
Governor Huckabee is off to do a very important job, and we're very proud of him. But there will be another show there at TBN. I would think maybe by summer there'll be another show there.
I think so too. I mean, the close proximity to Nashville and what's happening in Nashville, it's a no-brainer. Somebody's going to
Yep.
grab that studio, and it's just a matter of when, So, but I do appreciate you for being so gracious and letting us, got to work out when the kids are going to come, but
No
really
problem.
appreciate that. And I was going to say, I'm going to get you to do a website tutorial while we're there.
Oh my goodness.
I'm kidding. I wouldn't put you on the spot. But you do. I mean, it is. A lot of the times you go to stuff and you're like, I want to get tickets for this, and you get up there and you can't navigate it. It's effortless navigating. You go to the Fiddle Dee Farms website. You'll see where it says Crazy Little Thing Called Love. You click on that. It takes you to ticket options. Then you just keep clicking, and it gets you into the options, and it tells you everything you get with the VIP and all the different ones, and it works really well. So, because it gives you general seating details and all of that. I mean, you just can't beat it. All the details about when doors open, every question you could possibly want, it's right there. So, very good, my friend. I appreciate
Well,
you.
thank you
Anything
so
before we
much.
wrap it up. I know I've got. Are you any relation to Brian Pulley?
Not that I know of,
Okay,
probably, but
okay.
not that I know of.
It's so funny because I've got Brian Pulley with United Way standing by to come on, and I mean I've got Craig Pulley and Brian Pulley, and I'm like, what are the
Well, there you
odds?
go.
You know?
It's a Pulley show.
There you go. All right. Well, listen. Thank you, Craig, and I will reach out to you, and we'll figure out when to have you come on as we get a little closer to the show. But I just want to give
Absolutely.
everybody that really wanted to make sure they got the tickets that they want. You need
That's
to get
right.
on this right now. And
That's
as we
right.
get a little closer in, we'll kind of look at what's still left, and we'll talk about that. But Valentine's,
Absolutely.
14th, 15th, those are going, guys. You better get on it.
That's right. Well, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you again, Craig. Craig from the venue at Fiddle Dee Farms and all the things they do. Go check out their website and find out all there is to know, and go and see Crazy Little Thing Called Love. Thank you, sir.
Okay, talk
God
to you
bless.
soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. And as we continue on, Brian Pulley, come on in here. I don't know if he's hearing me yell. That's one of the hard things. I stay live whenever I'm on here from 7 to 8 a.m. I can't leave, but I need to talk about my sponsor as he's coming in and getting comfortable. Talk about Brian and Rebecca Brian and Rebecca, good land. Barry, I'm sorry, Barry. Barry's like, really? Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. We haven't talked a lot in the last couple of days about the fact that they were with the Garden Gate team. They switched over and they went Exit Prime Realty. The big thing they emphasize, it's the same team. We're just a new branch in the tree because they took his brokerage office and then they took her agency office. His brokerage office is here in downtown Springfield. And then you've got her agency office at a White House. They combined them just for a new branch in the Exit Tree. And I love Rebecca. When she was talking about, she came out of radiology many years ago. She's been at this a long time. She's one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. But she said when she was looking for an opportunity in real estate, when she had been, toying with the idea part-time, she's like, I really want to check this out. She was looking specifically for a company that just checked all the boxes. And that's what Exit did. And so if that's something you're considering, they check all the boxes, and Barry and Rebecca would love to mentor you into helping with that. They helped a friend of mine from Ukraine that's a Ukraine refugee, that she was a realtor in Ukraine. And so they put her in touch with, in the area she lives, some Exit folks in the Exit company that can help mentor her, somebody else that was actually from, it's just the opportunities, it's just the way things line up. But maybe you want to be a realtor, reach out to them. If you're buying or selling, whatever it might be, You can Google them. They both have their own webpage. They both have their own Facebook page. I talk about them being a team, and Barry goes, no, we work independent of each other. We can get a little competitive sometimes. But, of course, they help each other. He's that marketing expert, and so he's going to make sure that everything that they have available is going to be presented in absolutely the best light to make sure that when people go on to, start flipping through the listings as they do now, just like they date, they flip left or right or whatever, but they're going to make sure that you can see it in the best light and that it doesn't get missed. So go and check it out today. Barry Richards, Rebecca Richards, Exit Prime Realty. You can find them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy.county.com. And if you want Becky's phone number, it is 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Up in Cross Plainians, we like to call them. Good friends of the program, and when you talk to them, let them know U-Turn sent you. Brian Pulley's in. I'll just ask Craig Pulley, are y'all related?
We probably are.
I
had somebody, I was at a meeting yesterday, and a lady asked me, she said, are you any kin to so-and-so? And they were, I think, where do they live? They were up in Kentucky somewhere, I think. And I was like, I said, are they a good person? She's like, yeah, it's a good guy. I was like, yeah, probably. Yeah. I asked first. There's a few, don't take offense to this, there's a few Greenbrier Pulleys I don't claim. But other than that, I think we're all good. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, but we probably are somewhere.
That's
so
funny.
At least a second cousin, right?
Well, it's like I'm a Wilson.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's a bunch.
And I mean, you go up to West Kentucky, and if you've got Wilson as your last name, I'm probably your cousin.
Yes.
Just be real.
Yeah. If we're being honest about it.
Probably your cousin.
Yeah.
So, but Brian Pulley in the house. Is it just you today?
Just me today. Catherine's doing drop-off stuff, and I think Ace is at a chamber thing. So we always are out dividing and conquering in the community. So, yeah, that's what we do.
And if you missed it, Ace is back, and she's working with United Way again. And Catherine is the community engagement person.
Community Impact, yep.
Right, Community Impact. But she's working with more than just Robertson County.
Right. She has Robertson, Cheatham, some Davidson, and then Ace is managing the whole, like, outer counties, we call them, anything outside of Davidson County, basically. And we're happy to have her back. She's based here, though, so she spends a lot of time here and has already hit the ground running. And we talked last week with the impending snowpocalypse that we all suffered through over the weekend. But she was integral in a partnership that we had, and I wanted to get it out there on Thursday, but we were still working on details, and I didn't want to put misinformation out. But it was kind of a joint project with the city of Springfield, which stepped up huge for us, and my father's house, and then also Springfield Inn here locally were magnificent. I cannot speak highly enough of how good they were to work with and how accommodating they were and how on top of this they were, because stuff was coming in real time as people were looking for shelter with the snow and the weather conditions, and we were able to house a lot of folks. I'll probably let either Ace or Catherine speak more directly to all the details, but I mean, we housed quite a few people over the weekend, and it was a collaborative effort to get everybody there as far as just getting the word out to folks, and then the city stepping up and providing some resources to help us with what everybody knows what's going on with my father's house. I mean, we need that shelter, obviously, but they're taking care of their business the way they need to and getting their building in order. And if anybody's ever done a remodeling or any kind of construction project, it takes a while, you know what I mean? And it's frustrating. And
it is.
We went through one. I did one at my house, and we talked about it forever, and kind of redid our kitchen a little bit and some stuff, and it went really smooth. But it was still very stressful. There's no way it's not going to be stressful, and there's going to be like some speed bumps along the way, and things aren't going to go quite right, or somebody doesn't show the day they said they would show, and then things get bumped. It's just the nature of that beast, and so they're working through it. But I want to be very clear. Their efforts were outstanding to make sure people were taken care of, and I'm talking about my father's house, and just making sure that they were going above and beyond, and the outreach and what they do is just incredible. I don't think people understand the scope of what they're doing for folks that are suffering through homelessness, or just having issues where they're couch surfing, or just hit a hard time, or whatever it is. They are such a resource for our community, and we're so thankful, and they have such a heart for folks in that those situations, and just amazed me. So we were in a group text, and it was just buzzing all weekend with stuff getting taken care of, and like I said, Ace hitting the ground running, and she would hate me saying this, but just thankful to have her back and in that role because she has such a heart for it, and and has such a talent for it. So we were just we hate that people in that situation, but we're thankful that there was an alternative given the shelter situation. So
I think so
yeah,
too.
yeah.
And I talked about that a little bit as I was setting up the show when I first signed on, because I wanted some details on that, because I knew you mentioned it when you were in here last time that y'all were working on something, and then I got the message that y'all had secured it, and I just thought that was wonderful. And as I'm looking at the picture, I mean, today is in the 40s, tomorrow's 50,
Right.
Next week's not. Have y'all talked about what's coming?
There is some long term stuff that they're working on, and it just comes down to like it's just resources. I mean, this stuff costs money, and but Springfield Inn, again, we're very accommodating as far as the rates and kind of the way they had to do. They're still running a business over there, and so as far as like the safety of everybody involved, and obviously they want to make sure that they're they have other paying customers there that they have to be concerned with as well, and they're not a shelter, but they were stepping in at a time where people were in need, and I think they went above and beyond. So I was a sideline viewer for a lot of it, but just watching a lot of the efforts that were going on to take care of people, it just warmed my heart. And people bringing food, and I offered to do something one day, and they were like, we're good. We got so many people out of churches in our area. God bless them, lined up to feed them, and it's just like it's exactly what you hope when you think about a community and people in need, and then the community rallying around them to say, all right, this is the shelter is not in play right now, so what else can we do for folks? And so it was just it was cool to see. And again, I hate that people are in that situation. That's not cool at all. But the fact that they are, we know that they are. That's just a fact of life, and to have people step in and help during that time. And so we were able to gather a lot of good data too to maybe help the people in a long-term recovery situation, so that we understand why they're in why they are where they are, and hopefully get them in a better place. And so I think that'll be another benefit for us. We used our 211 helpline for a lot of it, and they were very accommodating and a little more adaptable, and that's another thing that we were able to move our 211 operation, as far as just the phone part of it, is now local. It is here in Middle Tennessee. It serves 42 counties. We were using a phone bank down in Florida, which was great because we had good staffed paid counselors, but to have it here local, we were able to put a little note on there, I think, to say, okay, we have a short-term shelter situation that we can provide here, and then we were able to gather data from that as well. So I think that's going to be beneficial as far as helping them more than just getting them out of the cold this time. We want to help them long term so that they don't need this the next time there's a thing. So that's the goal is to get them out of that situation, and so that we can get them in maybe a housing and jobs and all the things that we need to get them out of that situation. So,
and if you ever encounter folks that are in a situation where they're living in, maybe like you said, couch surfing, or house to house, or they're living in their car, God bless them. If you just have a conversation with them and just say, what happened, and it'll tear your heart out,
right? Because
the stories you hear, I mean, yes, there are some that are chemical and alcohol, and part of that, but I mean, most of the people who I've ever said, what happened, there's like, I remember an encounter with this one woman who, her husband had a stroke and couldn't work. And so they ended up losing their home. Right. I mean, they lost their apartment. They couldn't afford the apartment anymore. So they were she was working as a waitress while he was rehabbing. And they were living in the truck like 3 or 4 days, and then they'd get a hotel for a couple of nights so they could get, cleaned up, washed, whatever. I was like, God bless them. I mean, if you don't have family ties, and I'm so blessed. I've got so many people that help me. I would never be wanting, because between my biological family and my church family, it just wouldn't be a situation that I would ever find myself in. But there's people who are new to this area. Maybe they don't have that strong family connection. All kinds of wild stories in the time we're living in, guys. And man, if you just get to know people, right? It's just amazing that the compassion that you'll have for this. I was so thrilled to hear that. And but thank y'all. for
I was
that
praying.
work.
Yeah, I was.
Thank
We
y'all for all
just
that work.
in that situation, we were just the bridge builder. We just helped facilitate some relationships, and I mean, Ace did a lot of work on it as far as wanting to make sure we were getting information on folks so we could help them long term. But it was truly just people stepping up in a collaborative effort in the community. It took several different entities and several different people to kind of put something like that together, and that's to me like when it's working right is when everybody's kind of pitching in and where they can. And like I said, you got individuals, churches, government, business, nonprofit. Like if you think about that, like they're all working together to try to like take care of people in need. And like you said, I mean, I think there's a lot of assumptions made about homelessness, and I probably made some of those too before I was working in my role. It's like, well, they're all probably on drugs, or they have drinking problems, or there's a lot of it is mental illness that they're dealing with. I think people are a lot closer to that situation than you would understand, like all of us, you know what I mean? Like you
better believe
you
it.
said it a couple bad breaks and a couple, bad things happen to you, and health stuff happens to you, and then all of a sudden you find you don't have any income coming in for an extended period of time. I think we don't want to think about how it could happen to a lot of us. And so these people have stories, and these people have been through some stuff, and a lot of them are just, and they need a little help. You know what I mean? And it's not a handout. They just need a little help right now. Yeah. So we're just really proud of the. We know we live in a special place, and
We do.
and people want to help, and like I said, I'm offering some things. Like we already got it out. Like people are lined up to help, and that's a really cool thing. So like I said, there's more weather coming, and we'll continue to try to do everything we can to keep people out of the conditions and help them long term too. So that I mean, it'd be a beautiful day one day if we didn't need a shelter, but
that'd be wonderful.
that would be amazing. And then we know anything's possible through God, and so we just try to be His hands and His feet out here and serve and serve those that are needing some help right now. So
I love
yeah.
it. It's just a wonderful thing, and I just love our community. I love all that is going on here. And you mentioned the bridge bill, and that's what we talk about. That's what United Way is. If you're not familiar with United Way, if you just always heard it, not really understanding it, they are the bridge builders to the nonprofits. They connect it. If you're wanting, if that 211, that was when I was still working at the church and around the Benevolent Center, being able to give out that 211 number. Just for people to know what can connect them to the services that are available through nonprofits in their area. It's priceless. We had one story through the Bethlehem Center of just an amazing turnaround for some folks that we were trying to help, that we connected because of United Way, and some things that were needed that we just couldn't do as a church, and Bethlehem Center could, and just we wouldn't know about that had it not been for those connections. So. Love what y'all do, brother. Love what y'all do.
Yeah, we just proud and thankful to have good partners. We're going through the allocation process right now, and you learn a lot about the folks you work with. And for what I do, going and working with corporate partners and trying to raise money, that's why I get out of bed every morning, because I know what they're doing and how hard they're working. And a lot of our partners, particularly in the rural counties where we live, are volunteer run. They don't have big budgets, and they're shoestring budgets. And when they have something like a renovation that they have to do, or the roof is leaking, or you know what I mean, they got electrical problems or whatever, the funding that we're able to provide for them is integral, because a lot of times with grants, as like it's heavily it's one specific thing you have to do for, and so our dollars are a little looser in that, and that we just want to keep you working the best way you can, so that you can serve the community and continue on your mission. And so if you need to fix your roof with some of it, that's what you need to do to keep your building going. That's great. And so that's my motivation. I had a new business meeting yesterday with a manufacturer here in town, and was looking at doing some stuff, and kind of you have to give them the spiel on what we do, and but that's it in a nutshell. It's like I was like, a lot of these folks that we work with are literally just, it's a volunteer shop, you know what I mean, and they're working every day just to serve. Right, they don't have a capacity to go out and raise additional funds. Now they're getting additional revenue streams through donations or grants that they're able to apply for. But like, it's my job to go out and make sure that we're getting the funds that we need so that they can continue to do their work. And I don't think a lot of people, if you've never had to use those resources, you don't realize how valuable they are in the community and how they keep keep us running. Because I mean, there's all times when things been tight, or especially I talk about United Ministries a lot, and with the grocery prices being what they are, you hit a bad month, you had car problems, you know what I mean? Like you said, all kinds of stuff could happen. Kids are sick or whatever. You had to miss some work, and then all of a sudden, you can't get groceries that month. Like having somebody like United Ministries to kind of supplement during that time is amazing. So it's those I think about, and this weekend was a big, just a realization of what we do and how important it is. And I just think about, like, as I'm stepping out and it's cold and you get back in your warm house, I'm thinking about there's people who don't have that option.
No, they're living in cars.
Yeah,
there's kiddos.
There's kids.
I talked a lot about the Family Resource Center with Dr. Weeks on Tuesday, and guys, there are kids that go to our schools that are living in cars.
Yeah,
and I mean, it's hard. It's just hard to even think about when so many of us are so blessed, and so it just. If you want to get involved, reach out to United. That can point you in the right direction and help you get involved with one of the nonprofits that can. I mean, you talk about filling you up. When you give of yourself, man, you get so much more back than you ever put into it. But we're talking with Brian Pulley about all the things that the United Way does. It's already 10 till, brother. Before we run out of time, I want you to touch on VITA. So
I will, and I need to back up just a second. So I knew I'd forget somebody. You brought it up, and I'm glad you did. I'd be remiss. Jenny Dusky and her group with the school system, they were involved in. So I left out somebody, and that she was hugely involved. And it's early, so I'm still. We have
amazing,
y'all. We are so blessed first of all, our school systems. Both my kids are in Robertson County schools, and I'm living it firsthand. We are so blessed to have the school system that we have, but then the social workers and the folks that are taking care of people that are kids in our Jenny is fantastic. Her team is fantastic. I can't tell. We've worked with them on a lot of different stuff and partnered up on a lot of different stuff. Above and Beyond doesn't cover what they do. And so I just wanted a huge shout out to them too. So again, we're talking about churches, individuals, businesses, schools, nonprofits, government. It's literally almost all the tentacles of our society we're trying to get in to help folks that were in need. And so, I knew I'd forget somebody, but big shout out to Jenny and her group. So yes.
Sure.
Yeah. But VITA, got good news on VITA. You asked me last week.
VITA is the free tax prep service that you can access through United Way, and if you have 70,000 or below your combined income, right? Isn't that the marker? 72,000.
And it may have changed this year. That was last year. Okay. It's not going to be less than 72. If anything, they would have gone up a little bit, just with saying. So it's in that neighborhood. So, and we'll have people are just now. I don't have my W-2 yet. People are just now getting them. You got yours? Yeah, you're early. School system. See, on top of our school system, on top of it. We'll have, and we've got a new VITA person, and she actually, I think she gave a talk. We had a Kiwanis Rotary joint meeting on Tuesday. We do that sometimes. She spoke at that. I was not able to attend. I had meetings, but I'll bring her in to really dig into the VITA. We'll just do a whole VITA day, and she can kind of get into all the particulars. But I did find out yesterday we're going to have 2 in-person sites here in the community, and I think that's the biggest takeaway here. YMCA is stepping up to provide a site, and then Stokes Brown Library will also be a site. So we'll get details on dates. It's not every day they're available. Obviously, there'll be times, but I was very happy to hear that we'll actually have in-person sites, because I know a lot of people are good with the online stuff, and we're living in that world. But for some folks, you want to take your papers in. You want to sit down with a person. You want to be able to look them in the face and ask questions. Particularly if you think your taxes are a little bit of a mess, you know what I mean? And you may have struggled, and, a lot of people have some serious anxiety when it comes to their taxes and think, okay, you can do other people. You can't fix this. This is I promise you they can fix it. So they've seen it all. But to have in-person sites really cool. And just, again, big shout out to our library, which is an awesome resource here in the community and is a place that hosts so many things for our community. It's just, I don't think people realize how lucky we are for a town our size to have a library like that is really cool. And then Jeremy at the YMCA, they have just become amazing in our community as far as just opening their doors for everything.
Yeah,
right.
they do. If you ask them, they're like,
yeah,
"Oh yeah, we'll work it out."
And so I'm in Rotary, Jeremy. Got to know him a little bit, and but just their team over there is so accommodating, and they have the space downstairs, and they look at themselves as a place that needs to be open for their community, and so just thankful to have them. So we were very, very happy to have in-person sites because I know that was a question that people were asking. We'll get details on all that. You can go to VITA, search VITA, United Way of Greater Nashville, and we have some stuff on our website already. And they also have a really cool thing, which I saw this morning, is there's a Google map. Like you click on VITA sites, and if anybody uses Google Maps, and it has all the VITA sites in your area, and then you can just click on. So if you live like, south part of the county, or if you work in different parts of the, it's like, I can't really get over there, and it has all the sites listed on there. And so that's a really cool resource as well.
I think too, with it being that they're going to open it up at the library at the Y, that's going to offer some times that weren't available before.
Hopefully,
schedule.
Hopefully
they've got later. I mean, maybe there'll be some evening schedules. I don't know.
I don't know. I think they're working on. I don't know if they've got that finalized. I just know that I was in something with Catherine yesterday, and she said that those two have been confirmed. And so, like I said, we'll get. I'll work on getting our VITA person in here to really get into it. I've heard her talk. It's really good, and they have a passion for it too, as far as just helping folks with their taxes and helping them with their finances and getting them. Yeah. If you've had problems, they're going to try to clean up your stuff and make sure it's right. If you're just like, I just don't know what I'm doing. It's like, which is, I would be in that category. And to have like a qualified professional, last year I had to get mine done by somebody that knew what they were doing, and I was worried about it because we had some moving pieces. And I was like, I don't know how this is going to work. And it's so good to just get your stuff and then have somebody, you do this. And it's like, okay, I didn't know any of that. And then it's taken care of. It's done. And so there's nothing to be scared about. These people want to help you. I promise you. They love seeing somebody come in that has a mess and it's like, I don't know what I'm doing here. That's who they're going to. They're going to. It's a challenge. I get to take care of.
I get to fix it.
People that enjoy taxes. A little weird to me, but God bless them. A little weird that's your thing, but you know what? God gives us all our talents and abilities, and we're all different, and that's why the world's beautiful. And so we're thankful that they do like that, because that's not me. So
I've always had tax preparers. Yeah. I've never done my taxes. And of course, a lot of it's because we had a roofing company for 20 years, and so we've just kept that. And Roger Perry and Kelly and all them up in Goodlettsville, but we've been with them forever. So we've been very spoiled. So I can't imagine trying to sort it out myself. But that's one thing too. Don't put this stuff off, guys. I've never been intimidated with the IRS or anything, because honestly, every time I've had any kind of an encounter, it's been perfect. They've been nice. People have this terrible persona of, I would hate
they're
to
evil.
Have to work with that.
Yeah.
I work with the IRS. Every person I've ever worked with the IRS have been phenomenal.
Super cool. I would have in this role, I've had to meet several, because we've had like conference calls with them and different things. They're funny people, like really nice, and they have a sense of humor about the fact that they know people hate them.
We know you hate us.
Yeah, but they're actually like they want people to like get things right. Like it's not like they're looking to like gotcha. That's not their thing. They just really they if everybody could get on the same page, they love our program because we're helping people.
Sure they do.
Who, and that's why they have a mess or have something that they're not doing correctly, and we help get it right. It makes their life so much easier. That's one they can check off the list, because you can't even imagine. So no, it's nothing to be scared of. And for a lot of people, particularly like we have some single parents and that are operating on one income. This is a huge percentage of their annual income if we can get them the tax refund that they're due, right? Mm-hmm. And so it can be the difference in like, man, my car is on its last leg, and that's a down payment on a car, or whatever you need, or it needs new tires, or my house I got this repair job I need, plumbing, whatever it is. Like it can really like help them. We talk about those like check to check situations that can really provide some cushion there, and it's money that's owed to them. Like it's money that from a tax situation is like that money is supposed to be coming back to them, and so we just want to make sure they get every dollar they can, and then they turn around and shop in our community, and that tax revenue comes in, and it's all a beautiful cycle. So that's the way it's supposed to go, and so we're thankful to have a couple of in-person sites, and thankful to their friends at the library and to the YMCA for opening their doors for us, because a lot of communities, that's what we struggle with, is just having a place to go. Churches have stepped up in other places, and we're thankful for that. And But it's just like that's our biggest issue. It's generally not volunteers; it's a building. They have somewhere to go because it's just hard to find those places and have a designated spot where people can come sit. We can set our stuff up, and it's easy for folks to get to and all that. And so we've got 2 locations for you to choose from here. Yep,
that's perfect because we're going to be in tax season. I mean, we're there really, but you got a little bit of time to get it done. Anything else? We're down to a couple of minutes here, buddy. Boy, it just goes flying.
It does. We had a lot of good stuff to talk about today. I love giving praise to folks that are working hard, and we've had a lot of that recently. And no, we're just right now we're out beating with some new businesses on my side, which is I love because it's new partnerships that we want to. And like I said, I met with a company yesterday and they were just really excited. Like, we want to get more involved in our community and we want to get out there. And I'm like, well, buddy, we got some stuff for you. And so just, it felt good just to list, or here's all the things that we can do. And then we're adding stuff all the time. And it's like, you want to get involved, we can get you involved. And so I urge any other businesses in our area or individuals, if you want to get involved, you call me 615-780-2401, 615-780-2401. I promise you, we can find something that'll get you involved. LaVern says it all the time. You want your cup filled, we got places to get your cup filled, and you can help others. And so we got a lot of folks in this community that are working their tail off to try to help others and try to give people opportunities they may not have. And so if you want to be a part of that, we can definitely help you with that. So
what he said,
25, make it your year to get involved. You've always like, I wanted to get involved, I don't know how to get involved. We will make it so easy and simple and get you plugged in, and I promise you your life will be better for it.
Amen, and amen. Brian Pulley, United Way, and appreciate you coming in. I mean, we're out of time.
I know.
So thank you guys for joining us, and I'll see you next week. You going to be in next week?
I should be, yes.
Cool. Awesome.
Yes.
Just keep me posted.
I will.
If you can't make it, but usually we visit with United Way every week at 7:30 on Thursday because they just got a lot to bring to the table. So thank you as always.
Thank you
for having
us.
I said, hey.
I will.
And stay with us tomorrow because, Rachel Culver will be coming on in here tomorrow. It's her day to come in on Faith Friday, and we'll look forward to that. They've just started a new Bible reading project, and so you could definitely, they just started that this past weekend. So if this is the year you want to read the Bible through, be sure and tune in tomorrow because I'm sure Rachel will unpack that and how you can be a part of it. And appreciate you being a part of what we have going on here. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have a